Me and my team of Awab Kashif, Arqam Iftikhar, and Syed and Musa, also known as Sam, have all been working together and making short films, music videos, and other media for a little over 7 years now. We were all good friends before, but when we were introduced to the photography club all the way back in the 6th grade, our bond only grew stronger over our shared love for media and creating it. With every project that we've worked on together, our skill set has only grown with that experience gained. However, for our media studies course, this was something which we had never been through before. Our process had always been minuscule and stripped down. Show up to shoots without a plan of action, with nothing but the idea of what we want to do. Come up with shots as we go throughout the day, not having a schedule, take 1 or 2 shots for each scene, take another shot for safety, move on, and boom, we had our film / music video / whatever we'd been working on. This method has always worked for us, despite the obvious flaws and being prone to flopping. However, after working on our AS project, thoroughly planning out the story, making a shot list, knowing what every other scene is going to be, documenting every other thing, these are the little things that help a project go from good to great. That was what taught us what effective planning brings to a project. Now, getting to the main premise of the question, how our production skills developed throughout the project. Out of all of us, me and Sam were the brains of the operation, whilst Awab and Arqam were both taking charge on the shooting and editing front. But after a slight quarrel, all in good spirits though, after not being able to procure actors to act in our film opening, that mantle was handed to me and Awab. As for Awab, this was his first time being in front of the camera rather than behind it. As for me, I had always been their test subject / actor. Sam had to improvise and had to learn how to effectively manage a camera, which came surprisingly natural to him, and he ended up taking most of the shots for us. Similarly, as actors, me and Awab did a half-decent job too, more so Awab than me though. It takes courage to admit when you're not as good as your childhood friend at something because of the presence of a friendly, competitive atmosphere, which never really hurt anybody, right? But anyways, by having gone through this and having to perform in roles we weren't accustomed to, taught us the art of improvisation. Because you never know if you're good at something until you truly try. Further along the same line of thought, we learned how to make do with what we had. All our equipment wasn't the most high-end stuff, but we made it work. There's a word for it in Urdu called jugaad, which refers to an innovative fix or a simple workaround, a solution that bends the rules. Us being stubborn, rather than taking an alternate route, made full use of the concept of jugaad and made do to get by and get our planned shots. aforementioned was all the development that we went through as a team. However, I also feel that I made a lot of progress individually. By sitting in with Awab, our designated editor, during his editing sessions, I learned so much just by being there and being involved with that entire process. I learned just how important good sound design is to keep the audience hooked. Furthermore, I firsthand saw the importance of good color grading. Even the most minuscule shift in colors can change the entire look of what's being shown on screen, and that the color grading needs to be kept in mind before shooting the actual project, because not all presets or LUTs, lookup tables, as I learned they were called, look good on all kinds of raw footage. In the opening scene that we shot with the body, I learned that to make the sepia tone stand out and look beautiful in post, the original footage must have a singular point light source coming from behind the subject, as well as the light not being too jarring or bright, which really helps bring the browns to really stand out and make it look appealing. And all in all, that's all that I think I learned from this entire experience. And if the end product didn't turn out as good as we'd hoped, maybe the real A-star grade was the friends we made along the way. I hope I didn't miss anything out, and that's it. Bye.